disrespect for women as well as the press. And I asked what kind of example is for our children when he disparages women in power and then attacks the press that tries to report the truth. His tweets represent a weakness and crassness, but it's not just the tweets that we're worried about. His relentless mission to craft policies that fundamentally hurt women, like Trump Care, defunding Planned Parenthood, gutting Medicaid, raising costs, eroding essential benefits like maternity and mental health, and increasing the number of uninsured women and children in this country. This tweet just represents what he is. And I'm going to have Brenda come up and say some more.
I stand here today at this mic. I am sick and tired of the disrespect that is constantly being displayed from our President of the United States of America. As a Democrat and as a woman and as an African American in this great country that I love, I want to fight for jobs. I want equality for women when it comes to equal pay. I want to be able to say that when a woman needs health care, she can get it in America. I want my girls educated. I want investment in education. I want a country that's reflective of one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And this is not acceptable, Mr. President. You do not have the right, because you have a Twitter account, to display behavior that I taught my son never to do. I taught my son, and I am respected on so many levels, but from the Oval Office, as a woman, I'm not getting respect. We are here to do the work. These are times when we go home to our constituents. They're not talking about your tweets. They're talking about, where are the jobs? Where's my health care? Where's my immigration reform? Where is the respect for criminal justice in this country? Mr. President, this is a direct to you. Eyeball to eyeball. Do the job of a president of all the people of this great country and stop the disrespect.
All right. We came together today with great anxiety, with great shock, and with great disappointment in the President of the United States. We strongly believe that this is beneath the presidency of the United States. We strongly believe that this cannot go on any longer. It is destructive, it is repugnant, and again, it is beneath the presidency of the United States. It is not normal for a grown man to be so consumed with petty vitriol. I implore those close to the president to step in. Do it because you love him. Do it because you love this country. I am speaking here today as a woman and as a mother. If conduct like this was going on in a schoolyard anywhere across this country, the teacher would take this child who had called someone dumb, called someone inappropriately, and give him a timeout. Mr. President, it is time for you to take a timeout. Both the First Lady and the First Daughter have commented about public meanness. Ivanka has said, there is a level of viciousness that I was not expecting. Mr. President, there's a level of viciousness coming from your tweets that we are not expecting. And the First Lady has said, our culture has gotten too mean. To the First Lady, I would say, please talk to your husband.
Thanks. I just wanted to come, lest anyone get the impression that it's just our women colleagues who are outraged and indignant about this latest outburst of cyber misogyny in the president's tweets. As the father of 2 daughters and 1 son, I want to tell my daughters that no man has any right ever to treat you the way the president has tried to treat people with his tweets. And I want to tell my son that he should never look at this president of the United States as any kind of role model. He is no gentleman, and he seems increasingly like a barbarian in terms of his treatment of his fellow citizens. So something is deeply wrong at the White House, and we hope whoever's in control over there can get on top of it and pull back from this terrible situation.
Okay, thanks. Anybody have any questions? Oh. Yes.
Why, if you say that these tweets are below the dignity, there's been a lot of talk of the president possibly tweeting to distract from the issues. Why dignify these tweets with a response such as this?
Rosa?
Can I just comment?
Yes, go ahead.
May I just say to you that the President of the United States, Mr. Trump, has violated any suggestion that he should be trusted with the Oval Office. We are members of the United States Congress, men and women who represent the people. The people seek not to have kings or queens, but they seek to have an office of the presidency that can be trusted. Today, Mr. Trump, you have ceased to have the trust of the American people. When you begin to utilize again the diminishing of those who have mental health needs, Psycho Joe Scarborough, or Psycho Joe, or low IQ Mika, and then you begin to talk about the private issues of women who have before in life been segregated and discriminated against because they're women, blood from wherever, or your face is bleeding. Do you realize how many women shudder in workplaces of which we fight for equality, in schools, in their homes with the issue of domestic violence because they're not protected? And then our commander-in-chief seeks to take advantage of the position that he holds. So why do we do it? Not for self, but for the words that were said about colleague Fiorona, who's a Republican. Look at that face. Would anybody vote for that? That was the candidate Trump. Now we're facing the President Trump. And I would argue that our responsibility is not to him, but to the American people, and he should resign.
And I think simply, though, and I think the point we're trying to make here, his cyberbullying is reflective of his policies, really, and I think that's the most important point. Rosa wanted to.
Thank you very much. The question a moment ago was about why gather to respond. You know, you cannot ignore some things, and when the president has stooped to degrade women, bullying them on their looks and whether or not they are intelligent, it speaks volumes. We need to speak volumes. It sends a message, I guess, characterized to our children of what is acceptable behavior. I know Mika Brzezinski because she covered me when she worked in the state of Connecticut as a reporter. Her work in that job demonstrated her professionalism and her savvy. And for all of us here, men and women who stand here, and I'll particularly say to women, we work hard at what we do. We are professional in our job. And we have known in our lifetime and in our careers those who would denigrate who we are and what we do. It is not something that we expect the President of the United States to do this. Instead of this effort, the public policies or the professionalism of Mika Brzezinski and what she does as a reporter in doing her job is what we do in our jobs, is initiating public policy that helps men and women in this country. And would that the President of the United States, instead of proposing a budget and a repeal of a health care bill that can only hurt American people, women and children around this country, that he would stand tall and say that my job is to make sure that families have the education that they need, the health care that they need, the good jobs that they need in order to provide economic growth in the United States of America. What he does is he demeans women, but more than that, he has demeaned himself in this process. And we know it, and the country knows it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.